Hello everyone and welcome to another reading. So let's see today what Spirit has in store for you. I have my intuition candle going on. We're already starting off with stumbling over our words. So this is probably a message of things you wish you could say, or you not being able to fully express yourself to the T and to the way that you actually want to express yourself, but something's holding you back. So let's see. I'm also super sorry right now, like my neighbors started shuffling everything. It was quiet 2 minutes ago, so okay. We have 3 of Pentacles, 8 of Swords, and then the 9 of Swords in reverse. Okay, feeling trapped within a team. Could be community in this case as well. Usually it's teamwork and cooperating or collabing with other people, but it kind of like in this case gives similar vibes like the 3 of Cups. We have the 9 of Swords in reverse. At least there's no anxiety. You're releasing anxiety or fear around feeling trapped because of other people, or feeling like you have to be fitted in a box. This is giving me the type of energy of people pushing their perceptions onto you and you're like, nope. And this is very interesting because Natisha's reading yesterday was the same. It was exactly the same, where she was like, people have been trying to put you in a box. And the fact that this is popping up here, crazy. That just means my collective is aligned with her collective. If you don't follow her, go follow her. Natisha Cave. N-A-T-I-G-A and then Cave. She's such a good, she's the only one that I'm watching currently because she clocks it. Like, she's so on point with her readings. I hope she reaches 1 million subscribers this year because she's that good and she deserves that recognition. But yeah. We have the King of Swords, truth telling and being articulate. Again, like I said, you need to speak up. You need to express yourself. Strength, and then the Queen of Swords. You need to work on your confidence and courage. Could be also a solar plexus upgrade. Why is it getting dark all of a sudden? Solar plexus upgrade, but also the Queen of Swords, she doesn't take any shit. No. Especially because like it's literally with this King of Swords here, it's so crazy because it's about like set boundaries but also speak up. Say like what it is that you have to say. Or in this case also defend yourself. When someone's unnecessarily coming for you, you defend yourself. And I'm not saying like blow up on people. If you can do it from like a neutral and grounded place, even better, because we do not want to feel like we have to convince people of a certain way or force them to listen to our words. If they want to listen, fine, great. If not, then we move on. At the bottom of the deck we have the Moon card. So could be truth being highlighted, things being brought to the surface. Also sometimes the moon is illusions breaking apart, or like seeing through the illusions, something that might have appeared a certain way and then you're like, oh, I have clarity now. This is not what it looks like, or the way I perceived it. We have Temperance. Could be about balance here. Could be also saying like right now you're walking like from one path to the other. Ace of Swords. Pay attention to the thoughts, to any brain fog that you might have right now. Brain fog actually right now is super normal. We have Mercury retrograde in Pisces on top of that. And then with the eclipse still after, shadow period, integration part. So it is sometimes difficult to clock something right away, especially your own patterns, but also other people's patterns. Because I feel like this eclipse has shown us, at least in my experiences right now, of what do I need to be aware of other people, you know, their behavior and reactions from like a neutral place, so I don't take it personally and can process it easier. So I'm like, oh, okay, so it's not only about me, you know, it's other people and what they're doing or going through in this case. You get what I mean? So it's literally be more in observation mode, kind of. Don't be reactive, be receptive and observe. We have the Eight of Pentacles, okay, and the Seven of Wands at the bottom of the deck. You're doing a pretty good job at like not being too guarded. You're letting your guard down a little bit so you can actually see what it is that you need to work on, which is amazing because that's what's gonna help you move move towards the path, I guess. But in this case, I wanted to say move past certain patterns of and not repeating them. We have the Queen of Cups and then the Seven of Cups. Okay, there might be like some foggy energy of, or like where you cannot really peek through. Why is it not focusing? Please. Of how much love and compassion should I share? You know, if you feel to a certain point where it's just you emitting that into an open space, but it's just kind of like being sucked, you know, dry. Or because energy vampires right now are also, from what I've heard and seen energetically, very strong right now. But this is kind of, don't overgive, basically, in a way. Don't overgive, because that way, what was it? It was something similar in the Patreon reading, one of the groups, where the more you overgive, the more you kind of like let a part of you, in a way, die, if that makes sense. Because you're kind of like not giving a piece of your soul away, but like a piece of your essence that you could have needed right now. Again, don't give out if your cup is empty. Like, there's no point. You have to nurture yourself first. So basically, before you go and extend your hand, you have to make sure that you're good first before you help out someone. And maybe even if you're like trying to do it from like a good intention because they need help, if you're not 100% mentally capable or stable in that moment, you might do more damage than good. And that's something that you need to always ask yourself. Do I have the energy to extend myself to other people right now? And if you don't, that's okay. Sometimes you gotta be selfish. No matter what people will think or do, that's your own lesson of learning. I, for example, have a big theme of overextending, which now is the reason why I pull back. And it might trigger certain people, but I have overextended so much in early and late teens, to the point where it drained me so much that now I don't have the desire at all to overextend anymore. A part of me still wants to do that because it's the programming I have in my brain, but I have to actively hold myself back and like, no. Especially if during this eclipse season, mentally, I was working through stuff, and I'm not gonna be doing the overextending job when I don't even have the energy where I can actually listen and be present for other people. That, in my opinion, that's way more disrespectful, I guess, and that's what I'm trying to balance. You see this theme here going on a little bit. It's you figuring out for yourself also, but also learning how to balance it out so it doesn't cause drama, but also, again, or problems in this case. And with Mercury retrograde, miscommunication will happen sometimes. It's just bound to happen, and that's okay. Sometimes people are like, oh, don't focus too much on the planets, but sometimes you actually do have to be like, well, the energies are crazy right now, that's why it's happening, you know. Not blame the planets per se, but also understand that the nuance behind the things that are happening right now have a certain specific influence. Astrology has been there for a long time, and we cannot just pretend that it's not true or it doesn't affect us, when literally the world was kind of like built upon that before like science took over. Okay, a couple of more cards and then we will move on to the Fairy Oracle deck and the High Priestesses. Well, we have the Chariot and the Eight of Wands. Things are shifting very fast right now. Ooh, you better hold on, because this is why you taking time for yourself right now is very important, because if you don't regulate yourself with how fast things are shifting, your nervous system is triggered and then everything can become triggering. Doesn't matter if it's not an actual trigger, something in you will look for a reason to kind of like deflect from how fast things are shifting and you having to surrender. And then your brain is just constantly looking for evidence of like, what can I hyper focus on right now? Because it's a coping mechanism. We have the Ten of Swords, Four of Wands, and King of Cups. Okay, so during this time, again, like I said, an ending is happening, shifting fast. Four of Wands here is the celebration card of being like, yay, it's finally happening. King of Cups, emotional maturity. Journaling can give you a lot of clarity. I started journaling again and I'm so thankful because it just allows me to brain dump everything. So less brain fog, less hyper fixating on certain things, and also seeing my own patterns and realizing things of like, oh, okay, this is literally the reason why it's coming up. Also comparing it to the past, like, okay, this is a cycle and a pattern repeating itself, helps so much. And it helps you regulate your emotions. So, and also in a way, the celebration part here, I look at it as the same way as the Six of Wands. Progress and recognition of how far you've come, okay? You're not the same as you were at the beginning of the year. I feel like half a year has already passed with how many things happened. I don't know if anyone else feels like that, but also again, because things are shifting so fast, and in my case, it's one thing after the other where I'm shifting and breaking and purging. So obviously it feels like so much happened, but again, I changed a lot within these past 2 months. And you also got to take a moment to kind of like soak that in, because otherwise you're constantly going after like one thing after the other happens and you're like, okay, it's starting to get blurry. Ace of Cups at the bottom as well, so literally the emotions part here is so important. Focus here, please, not on the title. Okay, let's see what the fairies have to say. We have one card which is everything's okay, but also could be the affirmation of everything always works out in your favor. That's something that you can incorporate to kind of like regulate yourself and also stop any spiraling. We have new home, so if you've been trying to move, this is confirmation. Then we have business ideas. For those that have been thinking about like, should I start a side hustle? Yes. For those that already have their own business and are self-employed, things are about to look up very quickly. Again, please journal everything, because here's the thing, when you journal and you write things down, it shifts your awareness and consciousness. So what you focus on basically expands. If you see that things are turning around in your life and they're getting better and better, write that down and observe it, and then it starts to expand even more. So for me, we know that words are spells, right? That's why they always say, be careful of how you think about yourself and your life, because it's gonna affect you. In my case, it's even crazier because I have a 12th house Mercury placement within Sagittarius. So the 12th house is consciousness and between realms and realities and all that. with Mercury, which is communication, writing and stuff like that, being there, for me writing is even a bigger portal in a way. And it's not even scripting, it's just me being aware. Like literally, for example, my YouTube channel, the other one has been popping off like crazy right now because I started observing things and writing down like, oh, my video got a little bit more views than usual, it's doing a little bit better. It instantly unlocked a timeline where now my last video has over 2,000 views. The last time I've had over 2,000 views was last year. No, not even. Oh no, actually it was, because it was literally the same week I passed my theory driving exam, like the theory, oh my god, the theory one. And that same week my YouTube channel started taking off and I started getting so many new subscribers. Every single video had between 1.5 thousand views and 3,000 views, and I was like, what? And then I stopped. I don't remember anymore if at that time I was already also journaling, because I stopped it and I was like, I need to get back into journaling my feelings, but also like what I observe in my reality, right? And shift circumstances. I literally did that and it's crazy. Even now this YouTube channel, like the last video, yes, I shared the video with my healing channel, but still the views are still going up and I'm like, it literally is changing my life. And I'm so glad that I did it. That's why I'm like, if you can, and you don't even have to write a lot, but even just for like your emotions, the outlet. And when your emotions are regulated, things around you start shifting anyways, because you're not in an anxious energy anymore. You're not fear and paralyzed of taking action, and you just get into a more observative state where it's easier to make decisions. And also what's something else I wanted to say? Communication improves. Communicating your, like, realizing your own feelings, and when you know what you're feeling, it's easier for you to communicate why you're feeling that, which again here we said throat chakra expansion, very helpful. Then we have perfect timing. Okay, everything's happening exactly the way it's supposed to unfold right now. Okay, a part of you might be annoyed, like, why now? Why can't it be earlier? Because literally your character growth wasn't where it was supposed to be yet. That's why. If it was before that, you might have freaked out if you would have gotten your goal, achieved your goal or your manifestation or whatever it is that you're working towards. It might have overwhelmed you. Okay, High Priestesses. Also, someone's ancestors are coming through very strongly. What's the message from the ancestors? Let's see if they peek a little bit. I heard the word Hannah, or it could also be like grandma. I don't know. Things are a little bit... They're trying to come through, but also something's blocking them. So I feel like there are people that don't really want you to step into your full potential. And the fact that this card is there, oof, beautiful. I love that. The dark side of the priestess within you is basically in front of you. Wow. But in other words, this is saying don't push aside your shadow side, okay? Could be Lilith energy. Go and activate your Lilith in your birth chart. I will say this as many times as necessary until it clicks, because certain people still haven't heard it yet. That's why I'm repeating it. Your Lilith in your birth chart is your most taboo self, your shadow self, the version of you that you suppress because society deems it as what's a word I can use? Basically against all the rules of society and all the things. And once you activate that and embrace it and embody it, you get to a state of being unapologetically yourself, being more authentic, not trying to hide yourself to people please or try to fit into what is deemed by society as a good character or whatever it is. So depending on where you have it in your birth chart and which planet it is in, it changes like so many things, so many different meanings. I have it in Leo. If someone else has it in Leo, basically this is stop hiding, stop trying to not be like the spotlight. The spotlight will always be on you naturally because it's in Leo. Leo just demands attention by not doing anything. You could literally be in the corner of the room, quiet, not speaking to anyone, and people will still pay attention to you. You would not pass as a wallflower. It just doesn't work that way. And if you have Lilith in your 8th house, regardless of whatever sign it is, the 8th house is transformation, karmic connections, and also transformation. So literally that is, in a way, your superpower. The more you evolve, the more power, and I say that very loosely, it's just like you get more powerful in the sense of your energy just becomes very, very strong, very magnetic, especially if you have it in Leo as well. And again, you're not supposed to dim that. And again, the Lilith energy is just very, very strong and very your authentic self that you're supposed to embrace. And the fact that for me it started literally before the solar eclipse, that I took like such an interest to that sign, was because I was supposed to activate that, work with it, heal the shadow parts and all that. And again, my collective, always what I am going through, you could learn from that, so I'm sharing that here. Look up your Lilith sign. And also in this case, now that we're talking about North Node is also super important here for you, especially if you have it in your 3rd house, because this communication spread just is a little bit strong, like very like let me gag you so you don't speak type of energy, or let me silence you. Literally the downloads are hitting right now, where you were silenced as a kid. You were not allowed to speak up, you were not allowed to say your opinion. Whenever you had something like shh, don't say it. There's this I don't know if in English it's also said as well, but in Spain we say like you would be prettier if you would just shut up, that type of energy, you know. So that, and also Chiron. Chiron is your biggest core wound that you have. It's literally what you are supposed to be healing. So again, look at those 3 things. That's once you start working on all that, things are shifting very quickly. Okay, we have understand this, learning gives you power, and also kind of like brings you alive. The mind is always supposed to be evolving anyways. The brain naturally just craves knowledge in a way. Some people more than others, obviously, but it's just the more you just keep learning, the more, how can I put it in words in English? Oh my god. Not saying that you're gonna get smarter, in a way, that's not the way I want to say this. It's just, it opens up your mind to a different level than other people, because you're constantly creating new neural pathways and also keeping your brain active, which in today's day and age where doom scrolling is such a big problem, kind of like gives you an advantage towards other people. Then we have, you once worked for the High Priestess Kuan Yin, and she embodies the highest frequency basically, or light, of divine feminine energy, and you're supposed to unlock that, which is very interesting because we have here like super like white. Okay, so basically the pureness thing, right? But we also have black here, so this is basically, don't feel like you have to choose one or the other. Embody both versions of you. Okay, So yeah, I hope this gave you the clarity that you needed and were seeking for. What's the emoji? I don't know if there's a blue flower, but I'm feeling very pulled here because again, throat chakra, so either a blue flower if there is, if not a blue heart, and just the affirmation is, what do we want to channel? Here it could be that you stop hiding your truth. Yes. The camera cut me off, so sorry. But yeah, I was about to say goodbye. So I will see you guys in the next reading. Until then, take care. Let me know what's been going on for you. What realizations happened this week? I would be interested to read all about that. And until the next reading, bye bye!